I've been trying to get a little bit better and find the perfect sourdough bowl with half whole wheat. So I've been trying to make one every weekend. It's a beautiful weekend here. It's almost 80 degrees, even though it's not spring yet. Oh, I need some flour. And so I just thought I'd take you along for the weekend. We're gonna do some things outside to pretty much enjoy this weather. We're gonna start the garden for the spring and get everything prepared for that. Do a few landscaping things, hopefully. Yeah, make some really good spring food too. So I hope you enjoy it. These bowls are becoming my go-to bread these days. Everyone in the house I find enjoys this type of bread, and it takes a little bit less time than sourdough, like sandwich bread, because it's pretty much all hands off. I really like that I don't have to like roll it out and shape it, because shaping is like less than a minute in the morning, and I can pop it in the fridge until I have time to cook it. It goes with pretty much every dish and has just been such a helpful staple to have on hand these days. I can really feel my energy increasing with the daylight hours and warmer weather, and it makes me so excited for all the spring and summer outdoor activities coming. Are y'all feeling the same? Over the last few years, I've really tried to lean on like home activities and improvements instead of traveling or big events. We've all really enjoyed the slower pace, and we'll still do a few things in the summer, but really trying to stay home more and focus on our home. I'm trying to drink this lemon salt water. I think it really helps reset and reflush the system before I have my coffee and food. And between that and enjoying this peaceful morning that I haven't been able to get recently, I'm just feeling ready for the day. But I hear the kids stirring right now, so I'm gonna go see their happy face and get them some breakfast. I'm trying to get better at opening the house every day now that there's this beautiful sunlight to let in. It almost feels like therapeutic doing this too, and I hope to turn it into a nice little rhythm that I can actually keep. Between this and all the spring cleaning I've got planned, I'm hoping to reduce the little bit of anxiety I sometimes feel over the constant mess. That is definitely children, having young children, but also my mess that I need to deal with as well. Between cleaning and some simple rhythms, I'll be able to not feel that every day, and it'll really help us as a family. I try to get ready, before the kids wake up, but sometimes it only halfway gets done, sometimes it fully gets done, sometimes it never gets done, and that's fine. But throughout the morning I always try to put on a little makeup and put some clothes on, and it makes me feel so much more ready for the day. I don't think I actually started doing this during COVID. No, I didn't have a good habit of this. It's only afterwards that I realized I've got to get ready and feel more put together. It helps so much. And then I'm going to do a little devotional, and we can head to the nursery. First up on our spring menu today is a frittata with a bunch of fresh green veggies. I was really worried the kids wouldn't love this, but it turned out really flavorful, and they only rejected the asparagus, which I thankfully placed on top, mostly for beauty, but it paid off. You just gotta bring some small fresh potatoes and cold water to a boil while chopping up all the other veggies. I really love leeks and the mild sweet onion flavor they bring. Always slice them lengthwise and wash out the inside because dirt hides in here. I'll link the recipe I'm using for this, and I always just kind of switch up the vegetables that I want to put in here. And with spring here, I'm always trying to keep the bottom of things like leeks and green onions about 1 to 2 inches of them at the bottom so I can just stick them in the garden to regrow. It's such an easy way to stretch that dollar, and they actually do pretty good in there. All the veggies just saute in butter, salt, and pepper until soft and really flavorful. I'm chopping up the asparagus in chunks to blanch with the potatoes, but you can totally throw them in with the other veggies. Lunch just always has to be very fast for us, so this helps me get it going a little bit quicker. Everyone in my family loves eggs except my youngest, and he's really not a picky eater at all. This is just like the one thing he doesn't like, unfortunately. So I'm really trying to find other ways of serving them like this, where it's more mixed in with other things so he can get more used to them. I can slowly see him starting to try them more often too, thankfully, because I really love eggs and I think they are such an important staple to everyone's diet. My very handy helper mixes around 10 eggs, 1 cup of sour cream, and a bunch of parm together. I'm trying to get him to learn how to crack eggs, but I haven't quite got there with him. I need to maybe, if anyone's got some tips on that, let me know. But that's all ready by the time the potatoes are done. They are much, much easier to slice, and make them look nice if you let them cool down, but I could tell everyone was hungry and I just didn't have the time. The key to making frittata kind of go a little bit quicker is to let them set a bit over the burner until popping it into the oven. That way it only takes around 10 to 12 minutes to bake and firm up versus something like a casserole that can take a lot more. I'm gonna clean up these dishes, we'll have a good lunch, and then we'll get everyone to an early nap. I think I'm gonna try to make this strawberry bundt cake that I've been wanting to make with a little bit of a strawberry creamer to go on my coffee during nap. I'm just gonna head on dinner a little bit too. The kids are upstairs in the playroom and they seem happy, so while that bakes, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that strawberry bundt cake. It's gonna have small pieces of strawberries cut up and put in it, and then some of the reserved liquid that'll strain from these will be used for flavoring. And these strawberries are perfect for it because I try to buy organic, but sometimes that's not possible because strawberries are actually one of the things that have a lot of pesticides on them. But you can get most of it out by a mix of baking soda and vinegar for 12 minutes if you let them sit as soon as you buy them. The problem is, I think it's the vinegar that makes these strawberries a little bit soggy after doing that. Some fruits like blueberries handle a little bit better. Raspberries don't do well with it. And strawberries do okay, but it can turn them a little mushy after a day or two. I feel like you do drain them and clear it out, but that's perfect for using something like this. Some frozen strawberries would probably also work okay. I should try that because those are way cheaper. All right, first time making it with these ingredients. I love goat cheese on top. I think that adds such a nice taste. I really like goat cheese. It's just expensive. It makes me really want to goat. It's cooked perfectly. A little bit of fresh, rosemary or thyme would have been great in this too. It's a keeper this spring. I like to make these things fun for my kids. Like my oldest son, he loves a volcano of any type. He's really into volcanoes. So he loves a little bridge. I do this with a lot of food. Recently with a volcano coming out, ketchup always for the kids. That always help them eat more parent-like meals. I was able to lie down for just like, I think 15 minutes, and that does the world for me. I love weekends because I get to do that. I feel ready to tackle the new things I want to do and do it with some peace and quiet. I'm gonna make a double green tea with a little bit of extra caffeine and start on some strawberry creamer. In the like winter, we love like a hot cocoa. In the weekend after nap time, it's something special for the kids, something nice on the weekend that we do. And I make it with cacao, which has some benefits. I'll link a video about that. But with moving into spring, I kind of thought I'd make them like a warm strawberry milk as a snack in the weekend sometimes. And I'm gonna make this strawberry creamer so I can also enjoy it with my coffees, especially, you know, you're starting to want more iced coffees now, so I'm excited to have this in the fridge. Last night during dinner, I made this strawberry reduction just to kind of already have it. I used it in a strawberry cake recently, and it was really good, and we actually used a lot of the leftovers. It was really handy to have, so I made some more. It's just frozen strawberries that are defrosted. You throw them in a blender with some maple syrup. I used maple syrup this time, lemon zest, and some lemon juice, just a little bit to help keep it preserved. And my kids love it on toast. You know, it'll go in this creamer to give a nice flavor. I don't know, I've just found it really, really handy, and I'm gonna use some in the icing for the strawberry cake tonight. My kids love strawberries too, so it's a favorite. I don't know, we'll just see how much. I'm not kind of eyeballing it. I'll go with around 4 tablespoons. Here in the beginning, I'll heat this up with just some milk and creamer to make like a half and half, and we'll have a nice treat in the fridge. I ended up adding a little bit more maple syrup because I didn't add much last night. I just gotta try this too. My oldest still really loves warm milk from like his bottle days. He got spoiled. The first always gets so spoiled. So I left some in the pan too so they can have that when they wake up. I think they'll really like it. But you know, I love a good glass of milk at night too, and this might also be a nice treat for me. I think creamers are one of the easiest things you can tailor by season. There is no need to buy that expensive creamer that usually has so many fillers in it. Really just creamer, milk. You can use condensed milk if you like that more really creamy texture. You can kind of make it more creamy or more like half and half depending on what you like, and is significantly less expensive. It's so good. All right, now that that's put away, I'm gonna get started on the cake. I have this beautiful, if I can reach it. I love that when we made this house, or built this house, we didn't make it, we made the cabinets a little bit higher, which is really nice for like doing things here. If you ever build a home, make the cabinets a little bit higher, especially if you're on the taller side, which I am and my husband, we both are. It makes things hard to reach up there. How beautiful, right? I also think a bundt cake is something, like if you're gonna start making cakes, this is where to start. It's a little annoying that you have to buy the mold, but after that, it's a really simple cake to make compared to like others with frosting. It's, you know, the same way you make a normal cake. I love the density. They're not always as sweet, which I think adults tend to prefer. And because the icing is always very simple, it makes it a little bit easy to make, I would say, because the frosting is kind of an extra step, where this is very, very easy frosting or more of an icing, and it just looks impressive, right? So if you wanted to start a cake, this I think is where you should start. And I thankfully set out all the ingredients so I don't have to use my heater or anything. They're all room temperature. I'm just gonna cream the butter and sugar, add the eggs in slowly, then add the flour and some sour cream and a little bit of lemon zest, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to strain these strawberries and gently fold them in. The strained juice can be used for the sort of frosted or glaze icing that's going on top. And for a bundt cake, because it's so important that it comes out looking good, right? I do use this, which I know is not good for us. I can't imagine. Yeah, no. Pretty much all the bad oils put in one thing. But I haven't been brave enough to try it with just spray. And I'm not going to do it today. I just put a little bit in here with oil. If you know of another good trick, let me know. With the cake baked for tonight, it's time for some more warm, fresh air. Last year my baby was a bit too young to enjoy endless time outside, but now he's really loving it and getting involved with everything. It's so cute to watch them all play together and see him really love it out here, but it also means my baby is officially gone. Here I'm pushing the mulch over to just cover the garlic. I'll reuse it and put some more over all the rest, but we planted that in the winter. And I also left some mint in the garden that lasted throughout the winter. This thing grows like a weed. So I'm pulling it up and we'll replant some in a separate pot because I just don't need that much mint. Actually, I think I'll only put a few like herbs in the actual garden bed because they really grow very easily, and if we leave I can just move the potted plant away from like too much sun so it won't dry out, and that way it frees up our soil for more just vegetable plants. All this hard work, I think. Cannot wait for the bread. We're having steaks and some roasted radishes and asparagus with some, and mashed potatoes. That's what else we're gonna have. Roast beautifully. I'm just gonna pop this in the oven while we finish the work outside. No one's watching but y'all. Moment of truth. I think it's cool enough in the pan. Perfect. I can't wait to just walk outside for some fresh lettuce and green onions whenever I need it. I love this activity that we can tend to, this garden is something we can tend to as adults and really enjoy while the kids play outside and momentarily help us. I've really missed the evening resets of going outside at dusk to water the garden. This garden has been such a blessing for us, and I'm so glad we started it and can't wait until we hopefully can be able to have a much bigger garden one day. Feels so good to get that done, and we will enjoy it for months to come. Perfect timing too, as the bread is done. I'll link the sourdough recipe I'm using here. I just substituted in half whole wheat flour in grams, and it tends to turn out really great. More whole wheat flour I found, we just don't love it that much. Overall, it's not quite as airy and crunchy as all-purpose flour, but the extra nutrition makes the trade-off worth it, especially when I kind of see it as something really solid for my kids to have when I'm using whole wheat flour. I'm making this super delicious roasted radish and asparagus side dish to go with our steaks and mashed potatoes tonight. So fresh, simple, and it's the perfect spring dish that can go with practically everything. The radishes roast at a really high heat. I think it was like 425, which is practically what the bread was at, so the oven's already hot, which is great. They roast for 10 minutes, then add the asparagus in for another 10 minutes. That's really it. After roasting, just toss in a very simple vinaigrette of champagne vinegar, whole grain mustard, and olive oil. The trick to any thick vinaigrette, whether you're making it for this or salads, is to slowly whisk in the olive oil at the end. Add everything together, then the olive oil at the end slowly. I did skip the tarragon that was in the recipe that I'll link. We didn't miss it. Is maybe better with it, but sometimes it's really actually a hard spice to find for me. The strained strawberry juice from earlier is just added to some powdered sugar to form our glaze. This is what's so nice about this cake is that, you don't have to whip up buttercream or anything on bundt cakes. I never make my glaze too thick or sweet. You can. It looks a little bit nicer if you make it real thick, but, for just us enjoying it at home, I don't think that's necessary. Everyone really enjoyed this. It was such a nice spring treat that we enjoyed throughout the week. Not bad for whole week. Well, I hope this made you even more excited for spring and all the delicious food and outdoor time that comes along with it. Don't forget to subscribe for all that's coming up. Take care and see you in the next one.